moving right along. Here we go. Jeff Freeland Nelson. Did I get that right? Freeland? From, YOXO Toys. YOXO.
Hello, it is fantastic to be here. I want to start by apologizing that as soon as I'm done with this speech, I am out of here. And the reason is my wife is a doula, and there's a baby coming. And so the phone rang, and she said the kids need to be picked up from school because as our kids say, she helps moms get their babies out, and she's got to go do that. So that's why I have to leave, and I apologize. But you can communicate with me. It's down here on Twitter if you feel like tweeting at me at Freeland Nelson or at YOXO Toys, or please email me at jeff@yoxo.com. Any questions, any ideas? Really want to connect with all of you. First, I'd like to start with a quick poll, and there's not a wrong answer to this, and there's a reason I'm asking you this. How many of you before this very moment had ever heard of YOXO? Please raise your hand. Not bad. I'd say maybe a third? All right, cool. All right, I'll get back to that. But what I want to do is tell you a little bit about what YOXO is, our mission, how we make it, and why we make it, which is, I think, even more important, and what we're trying to accomplish as a company. Our mission is really easy. I hope you remember this forever. Our mission is to keep kids creating. So first and foremost, YOXO is about creativity. I think it's the most important thing we can be teaching our kids. If they're creative, not only are they going to be more successful in life, they're going to be more happy. Creativity is key to maintaining friendships, to having relationships, to being a parent. Creativity is huge. But we also have another mission, and it is to be the most ecologically sustainable toy company in the world. And sometimes we even take toy out. We want to be the most ecologically sustainable company in the world. We've got a long way to go before we accomplish this one, but it's something that we are working on every day. And here is how. Well, actually, no, here is YOXO. So this gives you a sense of what you can make. This is a dragon called Fire. He's about 3 feet long, he's gigantic, and he happens to be recyclable. You might think about toys, when you think of toys are made of plastic, right? All of them, unless they're made out of wood, and if they're made out of wood, then they're really expensive. This guy, Fire, is recyclable, and he is made out of wood, but because he's made out of recycled wood, he's not expensive. So we're like an affordable, recyclable wooden toy company that happens to be made about 3 miles away from here. And here is how we make it. And I'm sorry this isn't very easy to read. And we call it YOXO's closed loop. We're a closed loop product. So it all starts with you over in that far corner. You play with YOXO. You recycle YOXO. It goes into the normal recycling stream. Then it goes into the recycled paper manufacturing process. So from here, it might go to Menasha, Wisconsin. It might go to Cedar Falls, Iowa. There are a variety of places that process your recycling. Eureka knows a lot more about that than I do. They turn it into paper. It's then converted into chipboard. That chipboard is then laminated with some special sauce that we use at YOXO, still recyclable. Then we water jet cut YOXO using these super cool water jets made in St. Michael, Minnesota, that forces 55,000 pounds per square inch of water through a fissure in a diamond. And we cut the pieces out. We put them in kits. We ship them to about 1,600 stores in North America. You buy them, you play with them for years, but then when you're done with them, you recycle them and it all gets started all over again. This was not my idea. When I came up with YOXO, I thought about keep kids creating, and I'll blame my wife. About a week later, she said, hey, what if everything you guys made was recyclable? And I was like, that's crazy. Toys are made out of plastic in China. That's how you do it. And then about 2 weeks later, I found myself talking to a potential investor, and I said, well, of course, everything we make is going to be recyclable and made here in Minnesota, because I realized she's a genius, and I was completely wrong. The other big thing, yeah, right, thank you. The other big thing is we make it right here. We try to maintain our entire supply chain within about 20 miles of our shop, right behind KSTP in St. Paul. So right now we have some packaging that's made in Arkansas, but between you and me, we just fired them. So we're moving all of our packaging manufacturing back to Minnesota. So pretty much everything in YOXO kits that, again, we're sending all over North America is made right here. And that not only saves us money in shipping and all that other stuff, it does have a big ecological impact. And why does it matter? If you took every YOXO kit we have sold so far and stacked it on top of itself, it would be 2.5 times as tall as the Empire State Building. So we've made a lot of YOXO and we've shipped a lot of YOXO, which is cool. The great thing, that's all recyclable. If we were a traditional toy company, that'd be 2.5 times the Empire State Building made out of plastic, which I don't think anyone in this room at least thinks that's a very good idea. So that is YOXO in a nutshell. What advice would I give you? And really the only two things. One is to be bold, because you're right. I think in Minnesota we are very modest. It's like, I think I was right once, and most people agree with me, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. When it comes to this thing, we're right. We need to move to a zero waste economy. And so be bold, put it out there, and don't be afraid. And there's an opportunity to do it right now. The person in this room who tweets with the hashtag ZW Summit and gets the most retweets wins one of these. This is the biggest consumer YOXO kit we make. It's worth like $60. So if you can post something now on Twitter and you get the most retweets at the end of this event, you walk away with some free YOXO. So please do that. Be bold. And then the other thing is to just keep doing it. The reality is that we just have to keep doing this and don't give up and don't stop. We just did a big event at the State Fair. 252,000 people walked into our booth at the Eco Experience, and 90% of them had never heard of us. And we've been at this for like 4 years. But the reality is 4 years ago, nobody had heard of us. We got those 10%. We had a third of you, and now hopefully we have all of you unless you're sleeping. So please, just keep doing it, and the more we work on this and the more we work together, eventually we're gonna change and become the zero waste economy we need to be. Thank you very much.